I'll begin tonight by dispelling some myths that surround AP and IB, and then John will come in and talk about some details, some big picture stuff, and then also some just real detailed stuff that you need to know. So let me begin. All right, I have some facts and myths to go through. First one, can AP and IB coexist at BHS? The myth is we need to pick one, but the fact is AP and IB can and should coexist at BHS because they each have important and different purposes. AP courses are college courses taught at high school, and IB courses are high school courses that get a student ready for college. So they have different purposes, they serve different students. Many students take both, but they certainly have different purposes, so we need them both. Next one, why are there no honors classes in the 11th and 12th grade? The myth is we need a level between PSP and IB, but the fact is 11th and 12th grade honors level are IB courses. And so that was done by design 13, 14 years ago now. So if you look at that graph, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, if you look at the very bottom, that blue row, you'll see that the honors level in 9th and 10th grade become the IB and AP level in 11th grade. And so that is the honors level. IB is the honors level. We didn't rename it, but it's there by design, and there is an honors level in 11th and 12th grade. Next one, is the IB pathway limited to the IB Diploma? The myth is IB only serves the IB Diploma students, and that really is far from the truth. Every student at BHS actually is an IB student. Over 90% of our students are accepted to college, and preparing college-bound students is one of our primary goals, and that is the purpose of IB. And so lots of students are in that program. Right now, over 600 students are currently in at least one IB class, not just diploma students. And the IB Diploma is just one pathway for selecting courses. The diploma is sort of a thing within IB in itself, but the school itself is an IB World School. So even 9th and 10th graders, those students are doing IB stuff. They're using some of the same assessment tools. We're using some of the same teaching methods. And so all students are IB students, and the pathway is not limited to the diploma. Is the IB Diploma the only way to check the box for having taken the most rigorous courses at BHS? So on the Common App, there's actually a statement in a little box that counselors check when students have taken the most rigorous courses at BHS. The myth is only IB Diploma students get that box checked, but it's just not true. Any combination of honors, AP, and IB get the box checked. So when you're taking a mix of those high-level courses, that box gets checked when students apply with the Common App. All right, this is my last one. I said it, but I have to. This is the big picture idea between advanced placement and IB. So advanced placement, they are actual college courses taught in high school classrooms. Okay, so the college is coming into the high school. IB are high school courses designed for high school students, and they're designed to prepare students for college. So two different purposes. Both are high-level courses. John's going to talk now about some of the differences. And so I'm going to turn it over to him, and he'll join you in a second as soon as I get out of here. Thank you. John?
All right, thank you, Mr. Jazokis. Hi, everybody out there in Google Meet world. Hi, everybody in BCTV world. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Mr. Jazokis sort of gave you some big picture stuff to think about as it relates to AP and IB at BHS. I'm going to dive in a little bit to the details, kind of get into the finer points. And I'm going to start by highlighting all of these similarities, really to punctuate what Mr. Jazokis mentioned about the ability for these two programs to coexist, not just here in the school, but also in Bedford High School students' educational experiences. As was mentioned before, they are honors levels classes. They receive honors credit on transcripts and grade weighting and all of those things. They're both challenging and rigorous. They both result in high quality learning. They both lead to third-party assessments, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And those assessments are eligible for college credit, both on the AP side and on the IB side. They're well known and respected in the United States and Canada. And they both have weighted GPA grades, as I mentioned before, and they both work just like all Bedford High School classes. You can sign up for as many AP classes as your schedule can hold, or IB classes as your schedules can hold, or as you like. Sure, absolutely. Mr. Jazokas just let me know. Hi, folks on the Google Meet. If you want to see the presentation in a bigger screen, you can hover over that screen and click the button that says Pin, and that will make this presentation screen much bigger for you. And for the folks at BCTV, if you're watching from home, just know that we're going to post this slideshow up on the Bedford High School website. You'll be able to access it from the Bedford High School IB website. We also have a Bedford High School AP website, so we'll make this whole slideshow available to everybody after today's meeting or first thing tomorrow morning. All right? All right, first thing I'm going to do is dive into a little bit of detail on AP at Bedford High School. So what is AP? It's a subsidiary of the College Board, which you may know is also the proprietor of the SAT and the PSAT. AP was developed specifically to give students in high schools, advanced students in high schools, a college experience. And so that sort of is reflected in the way the courses are designed, and they're designed by college professors, contribute to the design of those courses. And probably most notably, the cornerstone of the AP program and curriculum are AP exams, which students can take to earn college credit. At Bedford High School, this is the list of all the AP courses that we offer. There's, I believe, 11 courses that we offer, and we're adding for fall 2021. So this coming fall, we're going to be adding AP Art History to our list of AP courses. So as you will see, we have AP courses in most subject areas and a diverse set for student interests. How do AP courses work? Well, they work just like a typical Bedford High School course. They're a year long. A student may sign up for them provided they've met any prerequisites that they may need to take before they are eligible to take it. They're weighted the same as honors and IB. And even though AP courses do have the option of taking the official AP exams, students are not required to take the AP exams. And in fact, one of the reasons why that is the case is because they are not free. Students and families pay to take AP exams. They do cost this year $95 per exam. And we don't want anyone out there to be discouraged or dissuaded from taking AP classes or AP exams. So please just know that we do have financial aid options available through the school. And I'm proud to say that in my time as IB coordinator and AP coordinator, no student has ever been prohibited from taking an exam because of cost. And so if that's something that you want to know more about, there's a process for that when we do exam registrations in the fall, all right? Let's talk about IB. All right, so there's a little bit more to dig into with IB. There's a little bit more complexity to sort of get after. Usually most of the questions I have are about IB. So here we go. What is IB? Well, the International Baccalaureate is a not-for-profit organization, a worldwide organization dedicated to developing international education to create a better world. I'm sorry about the typo there. IB's focus on inquiry, rigorous assessment, and international mindedness align with the BHS mission, with particular focus on critical thinking, independence, and communication. So the Bedford High School mission statement and the IB mission statement are pretty well aligned. The way that we approach teaching and learning through competencies and our approaches to teaching and learning in the classroom are very much modeled on the approaches to teaching and learning in IB. So, and that's, as Mr. Jazokas mentioned, by design, as the school, when it opened in 2007, opened as an IB World School. So, one of the questions I get asked a lot is about the proliferation of IB. How well known is it? And so I bring this graph to the slideshow because it shows not only are 59.1% of IB schools in the world in the Americas. Now that includes North America and South America. So on the bottom there's 1,897 IB world schools in the United States. And of those, 958, so just under 1,000, offer the IB Diploma program, like Bedford High School. So we are definitely in good company, all right? But as Mr. Jazokis mentioned, really the most important reason why we at Bedford High School are an IB World School and why we believe so strongly in IB is because of college readiness and college retention. Now, it can really help with college acceptance and it can help with college credit as well. And I'll speak to all of those things a little bit later on. But I want you to think about your educational experience at Bedford High School as really preparing you for what might come next and to equip you with all the tools to be successful in doing that. And this is the list of those tools, right? To be critical thinkers, to be knowledgeable students, effective learners, and good communicators, to be committed to the things that you do, to be a hard worker, to develop your time management skills, and above all, to care. And these are principles that are embedded in IB, that are also embedded here in Bedford High School, that really will enable students to be successful once they graduate. Is it working? The answer is yes. IB has an entire sort of research division that aims to sort of tell that story. And I did link the URL to go to their research division. It's ibo.org/research. You can see some of the work that they're doing. We do have plenty of Bedford High School data, which I'll share with you in a moment, as well as some anecdotal evidence. I think probably I get at least 1 or 2 emails from graduates in their freshman year that tell me that they say, you know, I didn't believe you when you told me at the time, but it really did prepare me for college. And this blurb right here, I don't need to read it aloud. And like I said, I will post this slideshow up on the Bedford High School website so you can read it. That the impact of the IB diploma on college retention and college success is actually measurably good. We actually can measure that based on some graduation statistics. So what I'm going to show you right here actually comes from the class of 2013. And the reason it comes from the class of 2013 is twofold. Number one, we didn't start getting the data that we need to produce these sort of graphics until 2013. And colleges and universities usually report a 6-year graduation rate. So we decided to key in on the 2013 graduation statistics. And so going from left to right on these dials, these are the 6-year college graduation percentages for students attending a 4-year college or university. So as you can see, Bedford High School, 2013 graduates, 73% of Bedford High School graduates in the class of 2013 completed college in 6 years or less, compared to private schools in New Hampshire at 61% and public schools in New Hampshire at 55%. And then the national private and national public averages are there as well. That is not there to show you how well we're doing at Bedford High School. We're doing quite well, and our students do really well. And they learn a lot, and they work really hard. But I include this chart for you in order to set up the next chart. So that's 73% of Bedford High School graduates who do finish college in 6 years or less actually do so in much less than 6 years. So in this pie chart that you're seeing right now, this is all of those kids that graduated from college in the class of 2013. So 73% of those class of 2013 grads attended college, and of those, 72% finished in 4 years. 17% finished in fewer than 4 years, which is astounding. And 9% in 5 years and 2% in 6 years. So what this really means is not only are Bedford High School students getting into college at a exceptional rate, they're finishing college at an exceptional rate, and in some cases even faster than the traditional 4 years. So this is some really impressive data about the hard work of Bedford High School and their college readiness. When we think about IB, we don't just stop at college readiness, we also talk about college acceptance. And so what this chart does, this only spotlights the IB diploma students because otherwise we just have too much data. So I highlighted the IB diploma students for the past, gosh, this goes all the way back to 2010 in the first graduating class at Bedford High School. And so as you can see, this is the number of students who actually matriculated into these colleges and universities. So this is not acceptance, this is actually a chart showing where students are going. So we have just under 20 who have gone to Northeastern, just under 15 who have gone to Boston College, and then on down the list. And if you look at that list, if you can see it well, you'll see there are some pretty selective colleges and universities on that list that our students are not just getting into, but also attending, including the United States Air Force Academy, which I'm proud to see has made the chart. College credit is also something available to IB diploma students, IB students. Any student in an IB class that ends in an exam can take the IB exam and can potentially earn college credit. And I include these charts on here, both from the Bedford High School top 10, the top 10 colleges that Bedford High School students attend, and other local colleges in the region that are popular for all of our graduates, including our non-IB diploma students. And there's some numbers after each one of these colleges. So just to sort of look at the University of New Hampshire at the top of the BHS top 10, we put that up there because it is the flagship university of the state of New Hampshire. And students who take IB HL exams and score a 5 or higher, actually, believe it or not, they get 8 UNH credits, which is the equivalent of 2 courses at UNH. So it's actually a very generous policy. Believe it or not. And then on down the list, you can see that some colleges require scores a little bit higher, some a little bit lower. I present this to you just for 2 reasons. Number one, to show that colleges and universities really do value IB and IB learners, and they do award credit for those good IB exam scores, but also to show you that that there is not a single policy that applies to all colleges and universities. Every college and university has a different policy as it relates to college credit, and that's true for AP as well as IB. So I always encourage students, if they're interested in getting credit for the IB exams that they've taken, that they go to colleges and universities that they're interested in, go to their websites, and see what their policies really are, because it may surprise you. One of the other great things, the value of the IB diploma, and I like to show this to every slideshow that I can get it into. This is actually a Bedford High School graduate from several years ago now who went to attend, I believe it's Colorado College. And this is actually a screenshot that one of that student's parents sent to me because when they logged on to the student's page, in the Colorado College information system, they actually noticed that their daughter was enrolled as a sophomore, even though she was starting her first year of college. And that is true for many colleges and universities throughout the country. And so again, if you're interested in the IB diploma, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes, this is one of the things that can happen. You can literally skip your freshman year and enroll as a sophomore. And that maybe explains why 17% of Bedford High School graduates who finish college do so in under 4 years. That can sort of help explain that statistic. All right, oh, there it is. All right. Any student at Bedford High School can take IB courses. All right, all Bedford High School students are IB students. Again, Mr. Jazokis mentioned this at the beginning of the presentation. That we don't just do IB for the sake of the IB diploma. I'm going to talk about the IB diploma in a few minutes. But most importantly, I want everyone out there to know that if you're a student at Bedford High School, regardless of what your academic goals are, there's probably an IB course out there for you that you could get a lot out of and enjoy quite a bit. In fact, we have, this is a sort of a de facto list of all the IB courses that we offer. IB does break down their courses into 6 subject groups. And so in the first group, which they call Studies in Language and Literature, we have IB English. In language acquisition, we have, well, I just put world languages there for the sake of space, but we have French, Spanish, and Latin. In individuals and societies, or as we like to call in American high school, social studies, we have history, business management, and world religions. In the sciences, biology, chemistry, physics, environmental systems and societies, and design technology, which is an engineering course, an IB engineering and design course. In math, our IB math pathway is called math analysis. And then in the arts, we have visual art, music, and film. So we have IB courses all up and down the curriculum. There's an IB course out there for everybody. How do they work? Well, they work just like typical Bedford High School courses. You can sign up for them provided they've met all the prerequisites. They're weighted the same as honors in AP. And just like in AP, students are not required to take official IB exams for all the same reasons. I'll talk about exam costs in a second. Before I do, there's a couple of sort of finer points as it relates to IB courses. You may have seen when I was talking about college credit, you may have seen the letters HL and SL on there a few times. There is a difference in IB courses. Some IB courses are HL courses, and some are SL courses, and some are combined, in fact. The difference really amounts to time and the amount of time that students spend learning the content and the skills in those courses. HL courses are not inherently harder than SL courses, although in some subjects, we'll take math, for example, or world language for another example. The more time you spend developing the skills in math and world language, the more complex your understanding and knowledge is. But HL exams require 240 hours of coursework before students are eligible to take them. So what that means is that students wishing to take HL exams spend 2 years in the classroom in that subject before they take those exams. So that's true in most subjects that we offer as HL subjects. SL exams only require 150 hours of coursework, which is just a smidge longer than a typical Bedford High School school year. And so students who are in IB SL classes, some of those are one-year classes, they may have a prerequisite. For example, IB Business Management SL. In order to get into that class, students have to take Intro to Business first. And that's sort of how we make sure that we meet the time requirements for exam eligibility for SL exams in one-year courses. So on the right-hand column of this slide, IB exams, some IB exams do require that you do 2 years of coursework. But it is important to know that if you sign up for year 1 of an IB course, that does not mean that you are required to take year 2 of that course. All right, if I sign up for IB English 1 going into my 11th grade year, and then I decide I don't want to take IB English 2 as a senior, that's okay. I don't have to. I won't be able to take that IB English exam because it's an HL exam, and I'll need those 2 years to take the exam. But if I don't want to take the second year of the course, I'm not required to, okay? So I say that just because I don't want students to think that when they sign up for an IB course that requires 2 years to take the exam, that they're signing themselves up for 2 years, okay? All right, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about something called the IB Diploma. Now, for any students or families out there that are interested in the IB Diploma, just as an FYI, we do have an IB Diploma specific information night that happens every year in September. It is primarily geared towards juniors and their families when they sign up for the IB Diploma going into their junior year. But really anybody is invited to attend that to learn more about the IB Diploma. So I'm going to give you some details about the IB Diploma, but not as in-depth as the September presentation. All right? In order for a student to earn the IB Diploma, and by the way, an IB Diploma is a qualifying diploma that does qualify students to attend university, both here in the United States and abroad. It does not replace a Bedford High School diploma. That's an important thing. So students who go for the IB diploma get both a Bedford High School diploma and an IB diploma. So if you want the IB diploma, you take the coursework that leads up to, and then 6 exams, 1 exam in each subject group. There is an asterisk to that, and it's the bullet just below. Students may replace a Group 6 arts exam with an exam from Groups 2, 3, or 4. So, for example, many Bedford High School students take 2 IB science exams instead of an IB science exam and an IB art exam. That happens a lot. We also have students who double up in social studies, and last year, or perhaps the year before, we had our first student who actually doubled up in world language, which was a first for us. Of those 6 exams, 3 of them must be at the higher level, must be HL exams, the other 3 being SL exams. However, IB does allow students to take up to 4 HL exams towards their IB diploma. We have had students take more than 4 HL exams, but only 4 of those exams count towards the IB diploma, and then 2 SL exams to round out the 6. Students may take up to 2 SL exams junior year, but all HL exams must be taken during senior year, okay? And to earn the IB diploma, students must complete the Diploma Core requirements, all right? And so there's a lot to take in there, and I'll talk a little bit in a few more slides about putting together an IB diploma schedule and sort of the best ways to go about doing that. The IB Diploma Core are the additional things that IB diploma candidates actually around the world do. First, they take a course called Theory of Knowledge. It's the course that I teach. And it begins in the 2nd semester of junior year and then culminates in the 1st semester of senior year. Theory of Knowledge 1, the junior version of the course that happens 2nd semester junior year, is actually open to all Bedford High School juniors. So if you're a junior but you don't want to do the IB diploma, but you really think Theory of Knowledge, where we talk about what we know and how we know it, sounds interesting to you, you can still take that class. All right, you don't have to be an IB diploma student to do it. And the same is true actually for TOK2 senior year. So students take those 2 courses, and I like to think of that as sort of the glue that holds everything together in the subject areas. Or if you think of the circle diagram here on the right, and you see that the sort of subjects are in the second most ring, the second ring in from the outside. Theory of Knowledge is sort of closer to the center, pulls stuff together. The second thing that IB diploma candidates do is complete something called an extended essay. It's an independent research essay in a subject of a student's choice on a topic of their choice. It's a very academic endeavor, and it begins during junior year, and we work with students all the way throughout junior year and into senior year. The last thing that students do is something called CAS, or Creativity, Activity, and Service. And what that really looks like, because we have students who are doing RWL throughout all 4 years of high school, and CAS is not extracurricular activities. It's really a process about reflecting on the extracurricular things that you're already doing, whether that's, sports or clubs, music or theater, community groups, church, scouts, any community service that you're doing out there. All of that stuff counts, and CAS is just a process that we have in which you reflect on that. So that happens really throughout the 2 years of the IB diploma program. All right, if you are interested in the IB diploma, how do you plan for that? All right, because it really doesn't start until the beginning of junior year. But if you're watching from home and you're a sophomore, you're probably thinking about this. And even if you're a freshman or not even yet at Bedford High School and you're here with us tonight, this might be something that you're thinking about. So the first and foremost important thing to understand about the IB diploma is that there's no one way to do it. With all of those IB courses, there is no one way to get to that IB diploma. Every student has an individual path and an individual journey. And students can custom tailor a diploma plan based on individual strengths and goals. This is particularly important in IB science because I know that there's a lot of pressure to get all of those science courses in while you're in high school. And how does that work with IB diploma? That can be somewhat of a puzzle to put together. And so thinking about how you might want to do that and then working backwards can really help. But really the most important thing is to set up a meeting with me. Sit down with me and I can talk you through it. We can scratch some things out and, take a look at what schedule might look like and give you some options moving forward. That's the best way, I think, to make sure that you have an IB diploma plan that works. And then I highlighted this bullet on the bottom because as we get closer to course selection time, if you are currently a sophomore and you're signing up for courses for your junior year and you want to do the IB diploma, the way that we know that you want to do the IB diploma is to sign up for EE1. So if you're in 9th grade and you're like, I want to do the IB diploma, I can't sign up for EE1. You have to be signing up for your junior year classes in order to do that, okay? All right, IB exam costs. IB exams cost $119 each. And just like AP exams, financial aid is available through the school. And we've always been able to find a way to make sure every student who wants to take an IB exam or AP exam has been able to do so. All right, big picture here. Tips for building AP and IB into your schedule. Because you've got 8 blocks to work with per year. How do you do it? All right. I always think it's good to know where you want to end up and plan backwards. When I was a kid and I had to do a maze, I would always start at the end and work my way to the beginning. It just seemed easier. I don't know why, but it did. Use the program of studies. Read the program of studies. The descriptions in those classes are dense, I know, but they give you a lot of really good information. And not just what the course is about, but also what prerequisites might be there and what this course might lead to, all right? Map it out on paper so you can visualize it. If you're a list person, list it out. If you're a sort of a mind map person, mind map it out. Pay close attention to which classes end in an AP or IB exam and which don't. All right. If you are trying to put together a test strategy for what tests you want to take, what years and so forth, paying attention to which classes end in an exam and which ones don't can be incredibly helpful. And don't forget about other Bedford High School graduation requirements, right? Sometimes you got to fit that art half credit right in there at the end of your last year, or got to find a way to get personal finance in there. And these are great questions to have, not just with your counselor, but also with me. And lastly, I always encourage students to include a managed time in their schedule. It's good for your emotional health and well-being, and it gives you an opportunity to get things done. Managed time is more beneficial than you know, and it really does help when students go off to college. All right. Resources that are available. Some web resources that you can go to. These are located under the Academics tab on the Bedford High School website, the Bedford High School Program of Studies under Academics, and then the IB at BHS website and the AP at BHS website are both there under the Academics tab. And I will go ahead and post this slideshow. I believe it's already on the IB at BHS website page. And if it's not on the AP page, I'll go ahead and put it there as well. Other important resources. I'm putting myself at the top of the list. It's my job to have the institutional knowledge about AP and IB to help you get through those programs and figure out how those programs can be a part of your educational journey. All right, so reach out to me. My email's right there. Weekly BHS news from Mr. Jazokis. He's great about sending out those weekly newsletters. And every now and then, I make sure to put a really important kernel of information into those emails. So always be on the lookout for those. I know this year, in a normal year, I would have regular class meetings, monthly class meetings with, for the example, the IB Diploma students, and we just can't do that this year. And so those weekly newsletters from Mr. Jazokis and those emails are ever more important. We do have a BHS Google Calendar for both AP and IB. And I update those as soon as I have updated information. For big events, sometimes due dates, things are a bit in flux this year. So that calendar is a little more Spartan than it typically is, because not as many things are set in stone as we normally have them. And then lastly, your school counselors. Your school counselors are all very familiar with AP and IB, and they can sort of help you put those in the context of all the other things going on in your academic and Bedford High School life. So don't forget to reach out to your counselors and talk to them about your goals as well. All right, questions. If you have questions, here's what we're going to ask. My email address is right there, canonj@sau25.net. I am always available to answer your questions. I'm pretty good about getting back to those emails in a timely fashion. So if you do have any questions about something that myself or Mr. Jazokis presented in the slideshow presentation today, please do not hesitate to reach out. Even if you think it's just a quick or a silly question, I'm happy to answer it. Because the most important thing is to make sure that everyone is informed with the correct and accurate information. And if you'd like to take a step further because you're actually thinking about maybe the IB diploma and you want to see whether or not that makes sense for you, let's set up a meeting. We can do it virtually on Google Meet, just like we're doing right now, and we can get a lot done. And we can see where you're at and where you might be going. So if you have questions, please do reach out. Via email is best, and I will field those within 24 hours of receiving them. So that's the entirety of the presentation for this evening. I know we threw a lot of information at you, but I do hope that you were able to get a lot of beneficial information out of it. And please just know that we are here to help. All right? So thank you so much for joining us. I do wish you all a healthy and safe evening, the rest of the week and the weekend.